but my internship with 810 really taught me a lot of things that I'm looking to use now in my career. To be completely honest with you, just pestered Todd over and over again.
And me and Blake were just like kind of like soldiers going into battle. We're like, this isn't here. We're going to be in deep trouble, Blake. That kind of interaction happened. I can't remember what it was, but that sort of interaction happened, and I was like,
but tried not to fanboy, so to say, over it.
Yes.
And then I
Yeah,
still
let's
got
talk
to
about
think
it.
about
I was like,
later
that's the next thing on my list of how did we get the fanboy nickname?
I may have pissed off some Kansas fans by saying, I said, and I quote,
Who did you enjoy working with more this summer? Me or Easton? There are wrong answers.
I don't know which one's the wrong answer here. I mean,
Easton's the wrong answer. Let's be completely honest.
you guys hear me this time?
Yes.
You guys
Okay.
can hear me? Let's go.
That's
Let's
a
go.
win.
Hooray.
Sorry
Okay.
if my lighting's weird. Our power is out at the house for the lights, so I kind of just had to open my window and see if I can get any natural lighting in here. So,
No, you look
Good enough.
perfect. All right, so
Easton, you just look peachy too, man.
Oh, how nice. Welcome back to the Next Gen podcast. I almost just said the 810 podcast.
you just
and
almost forgot the name of the podcast.
I did. I almost just said
Okay.
the 810 podcast. I don't know. It's what wanted to come off my tongue.
It's behind you.
I know. I got distracted.
Yep.
Welcome back. Today we are on try number 2 with another intern. Today we're with Blake,
Right.
also known as Fanboy.
Fanboy.
Welcome in.
What's
So-
going on, guys?
It's funny because when I emailed him like the link to do the stream and stuff, I put the subject as round 2 ... fight, like in Mortal Kombat. So yeah, it's round 2. I'm glad that we got Blake back on. So
We
Blake,
fought. It's working.
we fought.
Perfect. We can actually hear you this time.
Yep.
That's an improvement.
Perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Well, what's been going on in your life? What are the updates? I think last time we saw you was right before you were leaving for school. So how is MU right now? How's football season? You guys have a good team this year, unfortunately.
3-0.
I know that might kill you to admit, Alex. I know it might.
Oh
No,
man,
but I'm just
That's
kidding.
It kind
But
of does.
imagine
been-
not being
it's
3-0.
been fun. Yeah,
Hey,
I
but, you know-
can't talk too much. I can't talk too much bad about Kansas because before the season, I kept saying they were going to be really good too.
Mhm.
And they still might be. It's early in the
Mhm.
season, so you never know. We'll see how they can improve.
They got a lot to figure out. I mean, it's early. You might as well figure out these problems early, and then get progressively better.
Right. We
season
have
goes.
plenty of time. I'm not worried about it. But okay, so what have you been doing? I know here you were mostly helping Dylan with the zone, doing some events. What does your life at MU look like?
So my life here is certainly different than life at home, to say the least. But my internship with 810 really taught me a lot of things that I'm looking to use now in my career. I'm trying to kind of almost get a head start, I would say. So aside from just going to class and all that good stuff,
Very
Yeah.
important.
It's very important.
very important. So aside from just doing that, I've been working a producing shift each week at KOMU, which is the NBC affiliate here. It's what the journalism school here uses. A lot of students work there, so I've been doing that. I started up my own podcast.
Awesome.
And so it's kind of cool to come on your guys' day. I appreciate you having me on. And so I've learned a lot about that, kind of just trying to get some on-air experience with that as well. And just trying to push myself forward on social media too, because like I said, I learned a lot at 810 this summer, and certainly helps whenever you have social media to promote yourself. So
Tell us a little bit more about this new podcast. I want to know about it. What's that all about?
So the podcast is called The Cage, and we recorded actually here in the fraternity house that my friend and I live in. So
Awesome.
That's
it's a little
so
bit
good.
different, than your traditional podcast. But we basically it's a Mizzou podcast, so Alex would love it.
Alex would
My
It's a
favorite.
Mizzou podcast.
You got to get her as a guest.
Oh
That
yeah,
would be
I
interesting.
would love to. You both
Hey,
should come on one
You're
time.
a Phi-Sci, right?
I am a Phi-Sci.
I'll support it for Phi-Sci. I'm a Phi-Sci fan.
You're a Phi-Sci
so
fan.
plenty of time at Phi-Sci at a
Yeah.
couple different schools. Okay.
Phi-Sci KU's, from what I've heard, they're fun.
They are.
A few of our guys have met up with them for like various like national events, and they loved them. So
See,
Greek life at Mizzou is a lot different than Arkansas State Greek life. I went down to move my brother in, and it's hectic, man. There's a lot of people, like more than I'm used to. There's like more people at this like at the tailgate or whatever the move in than like any of our events combined. So that's just it's crazy.
It is like they announced, I think like last week, that there's like 38% more admissions already at this point than there was last year, and you could probably suspect it's because of football, but
yeah, 100%.
I mean it seems overcrowded down here sometimes at this point, and there's good, there's pros to that and there's cons to that. So
yeah,
it's a little overwhelming sometimes.
So going back on the podcast just a little bit. So what are some of the topics that you guys are talking about right now? Because Mizzou being number 6 and now number 7 in the AP poll for college football. It's what are you guys sort of like talking about? And is it just football, or are you guys talking about all the sports? So yeah.
So we like it to be we say we just like it to be a podcast for Missouri. So if you live in Missouri and you're a Mizzou fan, we think it's a great podcast for you. That's because we'll talk about all things Mizzou. So, for example, my co-host, Austin, his younger sister was playing Mizzou in volleyball because she plays for UMKC. So we kind of talked about Mizzou volleyball a little bit in our last episode. It's mainly football driven, and it's perfect timing with Mizzou being better than we normally are, and the Chiefs going for a three-peat. We talk about Chiefs a lot. And then we talk about Royals. We talk about St. Louis Cardinals, Sporting KC, St. Louis City. Like I said, just a podcast for anyone in Missouri. That way, if you're from Kansas City, St. Louis, anywhere in between, that we can all find something in common, and hopefully people can appreciate some opinions and listen to what myself and my co-host have to say. So
awesome.
How'd you get that started up and like talk to your co-host about, okay, we're both students, we're both obviously like in Greek life, we're also trying to do this on the side. Like, how do you keep that consistent? I know it's something that Easton and I even struggle with, and we're in the office 40 hours a week, but we'll like, okay, when are we going to meet with people? When are we going to put time aside for this?
So it's kind of on the fly almost, because we both work different jobs now. We used to work the same job last year, but we don't anymore now. And so some days, like for example, last night, I texted Austin. I said, hey, what time can you record tomorrow? Because we always like to record early and get the podcast up early. We record Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. So being a student, being kind of in a different angle, like you guys were talking about with how yours is, than what most podcasters and media hosts are like, it's challenging sometimes, because sometimes we have to squeak in recording at the smallest possible window, edit our show for it to be shorter or longer on some days. And it's difficult sometimes, but that's what makes you better, being able to just adapt at stuff. And I learned that lesson at my internship this summer at 810.
Right, exactly. Those are skills that are amazing to learn when you're early instead of later, because then if you learn them later, you're going to be sort of overwhelmed, I feel like.
I know we've had Intern Vito, we've had Jack on. We're having spell check later this week. Tell us what your favorite, I guess, 810 moments. How, first of all, did you get your internship? Who did you reach out to? What was that process like?
So my process for getting that internship, I knew a gentleman who had a connection with Todd Lebo. And so he gave me Todd's contact, and I basically, to be completely honest with you, just pestered Todd over and over again until he agreed to meet with me.
That's how you do it. That's how you do
it.
That's how
I'd send him a text, and yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you have to annoy people, especially in what we want to do. So I texted him. He didn't respond. Texted him again. Texted him a third time. Emailed him. Called him. And finally, when I called him, he picked up. And he was like, "Oh, I've been seeing your contacts. Yeah, let's get together." And then I came back in town one weekend, met with him. And ever since that day, he gave me crap for overdressing to my interview. He said I had no business dressing as nice as I did.
What did you wear?
What'd you wear?
So I wore a dress shirt and then like dress pants almost. Like I was
Right,
going
like
on like
business
a
casual.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like business casual, and he said like you didn't need to dress that night. Like, come on, man.
I
So
know 810 is so like weirdly casual, you know?
Yeah, I showed up to my tour with Chad Corey. Just I showed up in khakis and a polo, or no, khakis and a like a pullover or something like a
Uh-huh.
crew neck. And I thought Chad was like, you don't have to dress this nice. Like this is it's just we're just chill, relax. Like
I know. I
that's
always
funny.
struggle with it. I'm like, what is fancy enough and
Yeah,
still cute? But
yeah,
but
because some days you want to be different and
mhm,
spice it
right.
up a little bit.
yeah.
So
I'm still trying to figure out if I should wear jeans to the office. I cannot figure that one out. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I
I'm
think I really struggled when I interned because I was under Boger. So I'd be like one day meeting with clients and need to look fancy, and then the next day like manual labor moving boxes with Gabe. And I'm like, I can't wear a dress on those days.
yeah,
Not gonna work.
yeah. That's not gonna
So
work. You gotta. I think for me, like I have tried to, figure out what I'm gonna do each day, and it's just like it's a new thing every day. I feel like one day I am doing this, and then the next day I'm helping Gabe lift boxes and all that stuff, which
what
is a
makes
lot
it
of
fun
fun.
though.
That's so much fun though. But it's all on the fly too. And I bet you learned that too during your internship is like everything is just on the fly, like go, go, go. Is
yeah,
that what you
like some
learned?
days you'll do some stuff different than you did the previous day, and that's why
Mhm,
they always stress do as much stuff as you can while you're an
mhm.
intern there. Try as many new things, even if it means lifting a box or setting up a golf tournament early in the morning. It's all
Yeah.
Right.
fun and games.
Let's talk about the golf tournament. What was your experience like with that? Like give me the from your POV what that looked like.
So my POV was waking up when the sun wasn't up yet, which I was used to that because I was with New Day with SSJ on Mondays. So drove out to the golf tournament and then kind of just followed instructions. Like we all just helped out as we needed to. Some tables needed set up, some holes like hole 9, 10, whatever needed set up. So
Mhm.
it was kind of just be flexible. And
Right.
once the golf tournament actually started, it was really nice because you got to meet so many different people, so many of 810's clients who all wanted to meet you. You
I
genuinely felt
told
like they
you.
wanted to get to
Mhm.
talk to you. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alex always told us, hey, that golf tournament, it's going to be one of the best days of your internship. It's going to be one of the longest days. You're going to want to sleep after, but you're going to have a good time. And she hit the nail on the head. It was awesome.
Yeah, Blake was very clutch for me. Um,
You
I don't
lost
know
your
if you remember
phone.
this. I lost my phone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
I
lost
was
my
like, what do you mean?
I left my phone in the bathroom and
Awkward.
awkward and I was like, "Blake, we're going to need to go back." Like cuz we were about to help Jack tear down the flat or the banners whatever. And I reach in my pockets and I'm like, well, my phone isn't in my pocket and it's not in the cart. And I think I know where it is. And we're going to find out if it is. And if it isn't, we're screwed. And me and Blake were just like, kind of like soldiers going into battle. We're like, if this isn't here, we're going to be in deep trouble, Blake. And Blake was clutch about it. So that
Hey,
was
you knew where it was. I just drove you
I
there.
did not
That
know
was
where it
it.
was. I was 30%
Well, you
sure.
did come in. We talked to Victor about how he played in the tournament.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think we totally forgot to mention that that also meant you were left by yourself.
Yeah.
I think you were the
I
only person
was.
all day who like didn't have a buddy. You know, Easton was my buddy.
Hmm.
Jack had Spencer. You were
Well,
just
you had some
living life.
you had some buddies. If you want to if you want to make a joke about it, you had some over there.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess I got stranded at first, but
Yeah.
no, it was like I said, talk to clients every time they came up to my hole,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and it was just a great time. You
You were
guys drove by countless
yeah.
times and hung out with me, so
Right.
it didn't
It was
change
like,
anything.
"You doing okay?" And then we just drive by. He's like, and you'd give the thumbs up, and we'd be good. You were on that par
Yeah,
3, right?
I don't know what hole exactly it was,
Okay.
but it was on the back side of the course. It was about
Yeah.
as far away as you could be from the
Yeah.
clubhouse. I
Right.
remember that.
Exactly. Yeah, that was because I was
I
like
guess
thinking because I was like, did you see any hole in ones? Was there anything close? I was trying to remember because I had to fill in for you for like a couple minutes, and I'm trying to remember if it was a par 3 or not, and I think it was. If I'm
It was
being
either a long par 3 or a short par 4.
yeah.
I don't
You were
know what
not
the
happy
exact
that we
bar
left
was.
you.
No, I
I guess for context,
was not. I was
Blake was left on this whole manning a cooler, handing out waters, sodas, whatever, to anyone who came by and just hanging out. And we needed to go to the bathroom. You know, it was a long day.
Yep.
So I had to leave Easton there by himself.
I did not like that. I just
Easton needs a buddy to be able to
it's
be
not
social.
that. It's just, yeah, I'm not that sociable to people, and I tried my hardest. I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And then I said something like sort of like a when you're at the movies and they say like, "Have a good time," and I'm like, "You too." And that kind of interaction happened. I can't remember what it was, but that sort of interaction happened, and I was like,
You're like, I'm ready to have a buddy.
I just remember like we were probably gone for 5 minutes round trips, and he texted
we
me
zoomed
like 4 times. I know, we were fast. We were like, we were doing what we had to do. And I just remember Easton texting me the entire time, being like, "Come back. I need you. Please come pick me up. I can't do this anymore." I was like, "What?"
I couldn't talk. I just like was not able to like communicate to people that well. And I was just like, I am embarrassing myself. Please, somebody take me away from this. My role is deliver ice and drinks. That's my role in this golf tournament. And it's not, I love to be sociable. I love talking to people. It's just sometimes I'm in that like state of mind where I can't talk and it just continues to happen. Sort of like right now. It's where it's just like I'm trying to figure out words, but it's off the top of my dome. I can't figure it out.
I feel that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
I know.
because I felt like I was rambling too
long.
long.
There's nothing wrong talking about intern experiences. Nothing wrong about it.
Exactly.
For real.
What other events did you go to, or what else were you involved in that was really stuck out as like a learning experience for you?
So I would say from kind of the very beginning, the event you put on, the Chiefs softball event, that was kind of the first time we all got to meet everyone, including Mr. Boger and all that stuff. And you kind of just got to see the general, I guess you'd say, vibe and atmosphere of 810 of, yeah, we want to do our work. We want to, be professional, be, formal, but we also get to, do fun events like that and put on events for the community. Yeah, exactly. We're allowed to have fun and do all that stuff. And it was a good time. Obviously, it was extremely cool experience to go down there on the field, being that close to all the Chiefs players and the press conference going on. But it was one of those events that since we got there earlier in the day, we got to see everything that goes into putting an event together like that. Like Alex, you telling people, hey, go hang these banners up. I don't care if you have to stick tape on brick. Just go hang it up.
It does not work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But yeah, just kind of being a team player, because that was probably one of the biggest lessons I learned at my internship. And it started off with doing events like that. Just other stuff, like I said, the golf tournament. It helps you kind of get out there and see the cool stuff you can do with this profession, and especially with 810. So,
what player at the softball tournament or game were you like, holy cow, that's a blank and blank? Who was that player?
I'd say probably Justin Reed, just because. I mean, he's done so much for the team already. So whenever he was from about me to my computer screen away, I was like, whoa, that's Justin Reed.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool experience, but tried not to fanboy, so to say, over it. And then I still got
to ask. I was like, that's the next thing on my list of how did we get the fanboy nickname? Run us through the day. How did that happen?
So that happened on a Monday. And if my dates are right here, this was the week before I actually was not there the following week for a family vacation. And so on this said Monday, on New Day with SSJ, Matt Beasler came in and guested. And whenever he finished up afterwards, I went up and I talked to him for 5 minutes or so and said, "Oh, Matt Beasler, this is honor. As you see, I have the sporting scarf right there, and I have like 8 of them. My roommate and I have hung up on the wall over there. So I've always been a big soccer fan." Said, "Matt, I've watched you my whole life. Big fan. And then I said the exact words, I don't want a fanboy over you." And Jake kind of almost like, how like Dylan marks stuff on the zone. Like it's like Jake marked it. And then I go on vacation. I come back 2 weeks later and They don't even tell me. SSJ just starts off the show with 2 interns. One of them doesn't know he has a nickname yet, and then kind of told his whole audience how I got it. But basically got it by fanboying over Matt Beasler. So Matt can
awesome.
always
Honestly,
talk about
I
that.
feel like it's like the intern nickname this year that has the best story.
I
think.
100%. I think yours.
I'll
and
take it.
Vito's, yeah, yours and
take it.
Vito's are the best.
Well, Vito's is a good nickname, but
you
it's
just
like,
have to know what it's about.
right. It doesn't have like a great 8-10 story. It's just like a Victor story.
Yeah,
you know?
or actually
Yeah.
like spell check was good too because
Spell check is good too.
because like because I mean,
I know.
Hayden couldn't
Spell check
spell.
was my
Next week,
favorite
we're having
nickname.
spell check on, so
That's gonna be a loud episode. I
Yeah,
already know.
Easton's
That'll be a
already
good
said
episode, though.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, Hayden's gonna carry. I think
over under how many minutes of talking do you think Easton will get in on that episode?
I would probably set the line at maybe 2.5 minutes.
2.5. That's
That's
what
what
How
I
long
was
will the
thinking,
episode
yeah.
be?
I was like, I talk a lot.
Hayden is a
Spell check
stand-up.
talks a lot.
Hayden is a stand-up comedian. Like
Mhm.
he is born to talk. So like I'm just gonna be sitting here in my corner, and I'm just gonna say at the end of the episode, I'm just gonna be like, "See ya." That's gonna be those are the 2 words I'm gonna say. And if I get more,
He was another person at that golf tournament that was with us a lot and driving around on the cart with us.
He was
all that
hilarious.
stuff.
He was so funny. That the whole day was just like, I love that day. I told you guys that's my favorite day of the year. It was a great opportunity. And then you had something you had to go to, but Easton and me and Spellcheck and Jack went to dinner after and continued the party. So you missed out on that.
Continued.
I did miss out. Apparently.
Jeez.
I'll stick around. Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit more about so when we originally were going to do this episode, we couldn't get you on. And as I was preparing for the episode, I was looking through your Twitter and found you made on August 17th, which is now not very relevant. It was then. You said like so and so happened this week. This wasn't on my bingo card for the rest of like the year. So when we couldn't get a hold of you, like that wasn't working, the audio thing. Easton and I made our own bingo card of these are the things that we think are going to happen in Kansas City sports for like the rest of like, we put like the NFL season / March Madness. I feel like that's a good time to like cut off the sports year.
Yeah.
Is kind of like right after March Madness. So from now to March Madness, not to put you on the spot, but what else would you put on your like Kansas City sports bingo card? I think when you originally talked about it, it was like Mahomes behind the back pass. And
I know what tweet you're talking about now. There we go. I was waiting for it to pop back in my head. Yeah. I would say, well, you just have to put on there all the local stuff. So you have to put Chiefs 3-peat, whether it could happen or not.
Right.
You have to put, say, a Mizzou SEC championship appearance. You have to put a Kansas Big 12 championship. Hey, see,
do you think that's going to happen?
Which a Kansas Big 12 championship?
No, the Mizzou SEC.
We'll see. I think we'll know. We'll know. I always tell people with the schedule, if they go down and win at A&M here in 2 weeks and start 5-0, then I do think they'll go to the SEC championship. But then, you have K-State and Kansas, stirring up some news too. K-State looks pretty good. Kansas, I still think surely they're going to bounce back. They have to. They have too good of a team.
So.
They have too good of a team to not.
Alex is praying.
I am.
Yeah.
I watching the game this weekend might have gotten a little emotional about it. I do let the games.
I texted my friend that goes to KU, and I said, I'm sorry, man. Like because we're good friends. We're objective with each other, and I said that is the last thing. I even said to him word for word, that was not on my bingo card today. Kansas losing to UNC.
I may have.
Oh yeah.
I may have pissed off some Kansas fans by saying I said, and I quote, I don't want you guys to get mad at me, but I think Kansas may need to look a different way when it comes to Jalen Daniels. And I got yelled at.
Yeah, I have a group chat of me, Easton, and my boyfriend. and I had Easton giving me like drama.
I was like,
And then
Jack
Always
bet
Easton.
on Las Vegas winning.
yeah, I know. My boyfriend is a KU fan and bet against KU. And then he doesn't go to KU. He was like, "Well, imagine your school not being 3-0." And I was like, "Okay, you're literally a KU fan. So why are you you're such a fake fan right now."
So it was definitely me that said the little thing. You know, like whenever
It set me off.
the little pebble breaks the glass.
Yeah.
When we couldn't get a hold of you, we made our own bingo card. So thanks to you, we now have like a 9-month running, I don't know, project.
Yeah,
I guess watching this bingo card of Ken, Alex, and Easton's bingo card. I don't think we can get a bingo. We put some like pretty outlandish stuff on there. I think we had Bobby Witt to have a cycle.
Mhm.
We have
Bobby Witt MVP. Do you think that's a thing?
I think it should be. I think he is easily the AL MVP, but I don't think he'll actually win it because Aaron Judge is a Yankee. And that is
there.
quite literally the reason why Bobby Witt's not going to win it. He's having the best season a shortstop's ever had.
Yeah.
So it's really
So
unfortunate.
I that's why we put it, just so it could happen, but it might.
Did you put a Royals playoff win on there?
I did.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
We said a Royals playoff game at home.
I think
that's what
so.
we said.
Yeah.
That's what we're
And
all
I think
grilling
we
for.
had a Salvi home run in the postseason. I think those were only Royals content, but
yeah.
What
do you think?
Anything else you would put on the bingo card, I guess, to close us out?
I would say this kind of maybe not a bigger news thing, but since I'm more of a soccer guy, Sporting KC making a really big signing.
That's what
this postseason window, and the KC Current winning their championship, because they're really good.
We have the Current on there.
I was going to say, I think we have the Current. I don't think we even touched Sporting.
Yeah.
I don't think we even like.
I think they have a chance.
I didn't even watch the game yesterday, so
they have a chance to make a push, but it's coming. It's getting tight. So maybe they can.
It's been rough being a Sporting fan the last few years. It's
exactly, but after every storm cloud, there is a rainbow. Is that how the saying goes? Is that how the saying goes?
That's one of the most thoughtful things I've ever heard, Easton.
You know, that's not what you were saying to me Friday night after the KU game, so it's fine.
I screwed myself. I was like, I knew I shouldn't have said it. I even said, "Don't be mad at me when I say this," and it just a bombshell.
Every time you start off a sentence like that, or it's kind of like when you say "no offense," and then it just immediately contradicts everything you started off.
I was already like, what's he gonna say now?
And I was hoping Mizzou was gonna beat Boston College, because if Mizzou lost,
if they lost, I was going off.
I would have been.
I was worried.
Yeah, I was too. That first half got me a little nervous.
We all were silent in the stadium. We couldn't believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what was like that game experience like? Was it? I saw you posted something about the aura before the game. How was the aura for the rest of the game?
So the aura that I posted before the game was quickly taken away by BC coming out really strong. And we were down 14-3 like midway through the second quarter. So we were all saying, okay, BC is either for real, or we are not as good as we think we are, or both. And then we had, from the end of that half to the first drive of the next half, we dominated. We scored like 21 points, didn't give up any. And that's why we won the game. The whole rest of the game, pretty even. So the stadium was really excited, lots of aura, so to say, in that second quarter. First quarter, it got drained. People were worried.
For those games, are you in the student section? Are you on the sidelines, press box? What's that look like for you?
So normally I'm in the student section, but this year I have been coming to the games with my dad. My dad's been coming to town because he loves coming down and kind of spending time with me and my friends. And he gets some of his friends to come too. So we've just been going to the Hill, which is kind of GA. It's kind of like overflow for the student section, but it's never actually been overflow till this year, because there's never been enough people that excited about it. So,
right. That's awesome. Well, I kind of want to ask a question, because we haven't really hit on it yet, and I want to get to it before Alex does the 2-minute drill or whatever. not the 2-minute drill. That's Soren's thing. The quick 2-minute questions. But the intern show. I kind of
Oh
wanted.
yeah. Oh my gosh. How do we forget that?
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that and how was that experience and what was sort of your role in developing it?
So I was with Vito and Yu, and we called it the intern angle. So we kind of, from the moment we had the meeting that talked to us about it and broke us into that team, we made a group chat, and every week we started talking about things we wanted to do, segments we had ideas about, stuff like that. And we all kind of took a pretty even role, I would say. We ended up having Easton as our producer, and that helped a lot because that kind of
King
helped us all
moment.
No, don't
focus.
even.
Exactly.
I was stressed
Exactly.
the entire time. I just was like, I'm figuring all this out for the first time, and it was fun though. I love doing it.
Yeah, and you did good. I mean, there wasn't really a mistake. There was nothing that was your fault,
Well,
like,
actually,
on there.
now that you say that, so like the beginning of the intro, I was playing music from our it's called Player from from Wide Orbit, and it didn't play. It just went gray, and I was pressing play and it just wouldn't play. And so that's why I was like, "Doc, go." Cuz it was just I was so nervous cuz it wasn't playing, and I was just so that was the only time I messed up, and of course it was at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't end up mattering, like you said. I mean, we ended up having a successful show. We ended up having Alex on the next day, and you
That
were
was
kind
fun.
of chiming in a lot too. So it's like you were almost on the show as well,
We
Easton.
had 5
Uh,
people on that show.
I feel like
and
we
it went
had
well.
really good energy.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, it was a great experience. Great way to cap off the night 2 of the show. So
Imagine doing
Exactly.
that every day. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, no. We
That'd
do
be
this
for
once a
double the
week and I'm
time.
like, okay.
I guess.
That's what I mean with the podcast we've been doing. Like some days it's like, oh, do we have 45 minutes worth of stuff to talk about? But
Mhm.
we always figure it out. We figure something to talk
Right.
about.
So is that something that you want to do in the future is, do on-air personality? Is that what you're striving for?
Yeah, I would say my internship at 810 this summer definitely kind of put that in my main sight, so to say.
Mhm.
I really, my ideal goal would be talk show, whether it's radio or TV, and then on the weekends, commentating games live. So the ultimate dream, of course, is say NFL, but that obviously would be a long time down the road.
Yeah.
Have a lot of stuff to take care of, a
You
lot of
never know,
business
man.
to handle before that.
So you kind of remind me of like a young Nate. I feel like very similar things, especially with the soccer,
Mhm.
Oh,
connections.
Bukaty, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. That is a good little
Sometimes I'm smart.
correlation there.
I feel like we've gone over on time now.
Mhm.
Let's do your quick 2-minute questions and then
Yeah,
wrap up real fast.
we were supposed to do them in the beginning, and then
I know we got too excited.
yeah, we got too
We had other
excited for
things to
Blake.
talk about.
But
We had to catch up. I hadn't talked to you guys
Exactly.
since in person
It's,
or
I
over the
know, and
phone
I
since I
hope that
left.
like
So
when you are home for winter break and everything, we can all catch up again. I know we've already talked to, you never made it out to a bingo night.
Mhm.
Embarrassing for you. You kept
Gotta
saying you were going to.
well, when you dislocate your shoulder
right.
by
I
falling down
know.
your own stairs, sometimes the night when you're supposed to go to bingo doesn't work out. So
That's funny.
You had valid excuses, but still, you had to come through.
Blake, let's be
well,
real.
I'll be back. Don't worry.
Perfect.
Let's be
Perfect.
real.
I know Jack will go with us. We've already talked to Victor, been like, you gotta come out again. So we gotta life update you guys.
Mhm.
So okay. Wrapping up questions. Are we ready? Are you
Yeah.
ready? Okay. All-time favorite team. You can only be a fan of one team. What is it?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Perfect. Okay. I feel like that's a very fair sentiment right now.
That's fair.
Okay. Lucky jersey number.
22.
Why? Wiggins?
My sister was always 22.
No
And
KU references there.
can't say KU. Can't say it was because of Andrew Wiggins. Can't lie. Although he's a hell of a basketball player. But
Yes.
my sister always was 22. Passed it on to me. Had success with it, I guess.
And Taylor Swift, right?
Learned to like Taylor Swift since she became a Chiefs fan. She's got a
22.
few good songs.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm
Wow.
not getting that reference.
Wow, the Taylor Swift fan is not understanding.
Okay, I'm not a full-blown Swiftie. I don't want to put that out there, but I'm saying
No, but
I
I am.
like her.
Alex
I know
is,
you are.
She didn't even. Wow, that's crazy.
Well, Taylor Swift's lucky number is 13. She just has a song about being the age 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Okay, moving on. Biggest superstition when you were still playing, or like now, maybe before recording. What's like your this is my superstition thing?
Like for playing sports or like what we're doing right now?
Playing sports, what would
Whatever.
Superstition, I guess, when I was playing sports is I always thought I was going to get hurt because I got hurt one time and had to miss a ton of time. So then every movement I did, I thought I was going to get hurt,
Right.
even though I knew I was healthy. So
That's funny.
Right.
I have one. You're going to a Quick Trip gas station.
Oh my gosh. He keeps bringing this up.
It's the best gas station in Kansas City, hands down. What you got? 2 snacks and a drink. What are you taking?
So if you go in the morning, breakfast pizza and a coffee. If you go in the afternoon or evening, a pizza or 2 rollers, so taquitos, and then a brisk, like a tea. Love myself an iced tea.
I forgot what episode it was, but we figured out that Quick Trip has breakfast pizza.
Yeah.
I need to try it. I need to.
It's
What's
so good.
I bet it is. It's Quick Trip.
It's the best gas station. I mean, what other gas station has a team sponsored by them dumping a big queue?
I need
the Royals dumping a big queue for their Salvi splash.
I need one of those jerseys to where it has the QT patch on it.
I think Easton's actually obsessed with Quick Trip. Like, no joke. We go for lunch
of this job.
way too often.
It's because of 810. Because I go there for lunch and stuff sometimes. And
Fair enough.
It's so quick. It's in the name.
It's a quick trip.
It's a quick trip.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I think that's like probably the second or third time that's been brought up on this show, which is just kind of
love it.
Extra.
I'm a Quick Trip stan. I love it. I think it's the best gas station by far, so it's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this question's really awkward because we usually give this to anyone else, and I think we already know your answer. Who in sports would you fanboy over if you met them?
Well, I have to give my shout out to Matt Beasler since he was my fanboy. But I mean, I think a lot of people in Casey would say if anyone ever saw Mahomes in person or like Kelsey,
right? Fair enough.
Then they'd freak out. It'd be hard not to.
Yeah, that would.
Okay, last one. Who did you enjoy working with more this summer? Me or Easton? There are wrong answers.
I don't know which one's the wrong answer here. I mean,
Easton's the wrong answer. Let's be completely honest.
I mean, I know you guys are gonna hate me for the answer, but I enjoyed working with you both equally as great. I mean,
lame.
Both had your good moments. Mm-hmm. Like it never had a bad moment with either of you.
Awesome.
I'll say if there's a tiebreaker, I'll bring it back to earlier at the golf course. It was really funny when I was with Alex and she was showing me the text of Easton saying, "I'm alone. Please come pick me back up right now." That was pretty funny. So there's a tiebreaker, I guess, to Alex, but
I thought you were going to say tiebreaker. It's when you and Easton went on your little side quest. So I'll take that win.
I guess, man,
No, you can't take it back now. It
was my problem.
I guess I can't, yeah.
It was my problem. So you have nothing. Alex is the right answer. Easton's the wrong answer 9 out of 10 times.
You're hating on yourself too much, Easton.
No, it's just Alex is carrying the squad at all times. So
okay, well, Blake, thanks for coming on. Thanks for rescheduling after our little audio issues. I guess anything else that you guys need to shout out last minute? I know we have follow Blake _ Hisey. I can never say it right.
You got it. It's Hisey. You got it.
Okay. Blake _ Hisey on Twitter or just Blake Hisey on Instagram. Other than that, follow the 810 Sports Radio TikTok. We post all of our teasers there.
As well as follow the Next Gen Instagram. And then also, Blake, does your podcast have any socials?
Yeah, The Cage.
It doesn't have any like social media. I kind of just promote it on my personal, but we're on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So really appreciate you guys having me on today.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys again soon. Once I'm back in town, we'll get together. So, yeah.
All right. Until next week.